Hey guys, welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. It is officially New Year's Eve right now, 9:30 at night. Just got the kids to bed and all that jazz, and I thought I would prep something for dinner tomorrow and share the recipe because this was a requested recipe by a subscriber. Actually the same subscriber that requested the Hunter's chicken. So what it's going to be is Dauphinoise potatoes. I'm going to make a small amount. There's 2 people at the New Year's meal that are going to eat it, and that's it. So I'm just making enough for 2 people. Of course you can double the recipe and all the rest. So I'm using 1 only. It says there's 270 mils. I've measured it. I got 250 out of one of these. So we'll say 250 of double cream. I'm also going to put 250 of milk, any kind of milk, it's fine. I didn't weigh this actually, let me weigh it. I know how much the tub weighs. So there's 150 of Gruyere cheese. You can add in mozzarella as well, should you so wish. Not traditional, but if you want cheddar, I suppose you could put some cheddar in there. I've got some thyme, just coarse ground black pepper, some celery salt. There's not a lot actually that goes into this. A garlic bulb. See, I'm going to use some Gouda slices, just for that extra bit of cheese, and some potatoes. I mean, I've got 2 great big bags of these over there. They've been outside in my storage, they're freezing. Well, not frozen, but they're really cold. And they've lasted really well, so I'm impressed with that storage outside over the winter. So I'm going to just cut up enough potatoes for 2 people, so I don't know how much that's going to be. Like when you make your own, if you make it, do enough potatoes that you're going to need for yourself. If you need to double the recipe or triple it, then feel free to do that. So, what I'm going to do first, oh God's sake, in here, let's see if they put more in. $2.50, and that clearly states $2.70, which is false advertising as far as I'm concerned. That 20 ml can make a lot of difference in some recipes. Not so much for me because I already knew about it. So I'm going to put the same amount in of milk, so another $2.50. Close enough for me. Doesn't have to be perfect. Not weighing anything else out. I hope you guys, when you watch this, if you went out, you had a good night, you were safe, stayed with friends. Ladies, I'm quite happy to stay at home. It's been many years since I went out on New Year's Eve, and to be honest, even then it was just heaving. You couldn't move anywhere. So yeah, I'm not really bothered. I'll be watching YouTube when the fireworks go off. My husband will probably be asleep. Hopefully the kids are asleep. My youngest, for some reason, has just come out of the bedroom. She went to bed at 8 and she's come out crying. And I heard her dad say, "What are you crying for?" "I've been trying, but I just can't get to sleep," she says. So all I'm doing is taking 2 garlic cloves, because I'm not going to keep this in the actual baking dish. I just want the flavour from it. So all I've done is just nipped it. Do the same for this one. Just nipped it. Just to release the flavour of the garlic, that's all. They will be getting taken out. Don't worry about the skin. So, this is a layering thing. I'm going to start off with the cream at the back. I've one. My own cooker and I don't even know which one it is. I'm going to turn it down because I don't want to scald it. Then I'm going to do some potatoes. Let me grab a plate. So I would reckon I probably only need maybe 3 potatoes for this. You can put potatoes raw into the dish and bake it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give them a head start because in the milk until they're slightly cooked. Plus the starch also will stop it from curdling and thicken it up. Cream doesn't particularly like being cooked. Heat to it, whatever way you want to put it. So, just do these. I didn't realise that fan was on. He'll be telling me off when it comes to editing now. Oh well. So, got the potatoes. The thickness of the potatoes, obviously you don't want it too thick. I will show you as soon as I've done this one. I mean, these have got to cook and they're going to be laid on top of each other. So this is what I've got. You can see that, or had. That's it. Half an inch. That's all I'm going to do. Just go through them, slice them. Do not let your cream come to the boil. You can let it heat up, but always keep it on that simmer and just watch for it catching on the bottom of the pan because it would burn quite easily. So I think that's enough for 2 people, especially with everything else, because I do tend to have stacked plates, as you might have seen on Meals of the Week. I can't help myself, it's just the way I was raised. My mum and dad did the same thing. So I'm just going to give these a rinse under the tap. Leave them on there to dry off a little bit. Get rid of that. So, into this pan that has got the milk and the cream. I don't know how much I want to put in, but how much is it? That's the thing. That's the hardest thing when you're showing people stuff. So this is celery salt. I would say 1/4 teaspoon. I never tend to weigh and measure things usually, so this is quite difficult for me. So the same with black pepper. And then a level teaspoon of the thyme. I'm using dried thyme. If you're using fresh thyme, you do you. Right, so I need a spoon. Give this a stir. Don't want it to scald. Just mix in everything that you've just put in. All I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the slices in individually so as they go in, they get coated in the cream mixture. I turned up the heat a little to get it started. Then I'm going to let this go for about between 6 and 8 minutes. But I'm not going far. As I say, I've got to carry on doing prep anyway for New Year's Day's dinner tomorrow. I'd rather get it done tonight than I ain't got to rush about tomorrow. So I'll leave that and we'll come back when we get to the layering stage and I'll show you how it thickens up. Right, so I've cooked these for the amount of time that I wanted to. They are not by any means cooked through. They are partly cooked through. All you want to do is just take a slotted spoon. If you come across, just try to separate them a little bit so that when we put the cream on, every potato's got some cream. Soak it in there. I was just re-dipping it to make sure it had cream all over it. Right. If you found a piece of what do you call it, garlic, just discard it. So what I'm going to do, here's my Gouda. It's in slices. I mean, normally you would put this in the oven once you get past this part, but this is for tomorrow, so I'm just going to put the lid on it, wait for it to cool down. So I'm going to put 2 slices on this layer. And that's just going to melt in, especially when the next layer of potatoes comes on. Don't get that cheese as well. I'm probably not going to need all these potatoes. I just did this amount to make sure that I had enough for the tin. I'm not going to have that many left over, so that's good. Don't like waste. Go in there, that's it. So again with the Gouda. When you grate this cheese, well, when you have it, if you buy it in a block, grate it. It does disperse better, I think. It goes through the layers better. Oh, she says, and she don't put it on. One last layer, a thin layer, just to make sure that I can get the lid on this bad boy. If not, I'll have to foil it. Don't ever worry if you're using these and you can't get the lid on. Tin foil is your friend. See, all the herbs are on the potatoes and everything. Well, actually I don't know if you can see. I'll lift it up even though it's hot. There, you can see the herbs and everything are on the potatoes. So it should taste nice and yummy. I think I've used all of my potatoes, so that's great. Good guess. Last one. Pop it there. Now I'm not going to waste this cream, so I'm not going to put another layer of Gouda there. We'll go for the grated, And we'll stick some on now. Then I'm going to grab my spoon. And you want to make sure that you have enough cream in here, because your potatoes are going to suck it up. There's me throwing it everywhere as usual. I think I've got enough in there. I mean, if you don't want to throw away that cream, you could make another one, pop it in the freezer. Because once you've cooked these potatoes, you can put it in the freezer. I would minus the Gouda though, because really, in just my opinion, only grated cheese I think freezes well. It tends to get a bit slimy, I think, if it goes in a block. On the top, this is not what they usually do, but because it is quite bland looking, all I'm doing is putting on a little bit of smoked paprika. Not even enough to taste, it's just for appearance. Now normally you would put the lid on that, bake it in the oven, and then remove the lid and brown it as much as you want it brown. But like I say, mine is for tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll put this in the oven for about an hour altogether. Always check the potatoes are cooked all the way through, stick a knife through. It goes straight through, no problems. But I would probably say gas mark 5 before you take the lid off, or foil, whichever you're using. Gas mark 5. Go about 45 minutes. Check if your potatoes are cooked, then just go for that final browning on top with the cheese and serve. But, ow, that's mine. That will probably, to be perfectly honest, serve 3. And that's a good one for meal prep. If it's something you would eat on a regular basis, something different to like mashed potatoes or roast potatoes. I mean, roast potatoes are a thing in this house, so everybody loves them. Extra crunchy. But that can be a meal prep, no problem. So yeah, that's my Dauphinoise potatoes. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, please. It is showing that the regulars are coming back and watching every single video, but there's some subscribers that are not. I don't know if that's a notification thing. And also that there's 75% female and 25% male. So I was really surprised by that. So welcome, all ye genders. Whichever you are most welcome. So yes, if you have any questions about this, you're going to make it and you've got a question, please drop me a comment. I usually 99.9% answer all of them. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Bye. Happy New Year.